We are live with episode 8 of What's Upper Pinellas. And woohoo.
Is it really 8?
Episode 8.
Nice.
Episode 8. You can only hear 7 of them, but it's
Hey, but it was there. Oh, that's nice. That's exciting.
Yeah, we're almost double digit midgets.
And I want to give a shout out to Diana, my friend who has been listening, and she really, because she talked about some of the stories we've told. So
really,
yeah.
Nice.
I know.
That's
so she's
awesome.
Really listening.
That's awesome. So she's not just watching; she's listening because she's telling stories back to you.
Right.
What a clown! How did you get that? How did you get on the air with that clown?
I think that she feels sorry for you a little bit, having to be with me because she knows me. But
that's funny.
Anyway.
All good. Yes. So if you are listening, I just got the live on Facebook, and if you could give us a 5x5, if you're listening, we would appreciate that, so that we know that we are broadcasting to you and you could hear us. That would be great. Oh, there we go. We are live. Yes. So, Marianne, tell me about your real estate day. How's it going?
I'm having a good day. A good real estate day too. We have on Thursdays, we have a team meeting at Keller Williams, and our managing broker, Aubrey Bailey, really great guy, very dynamic, came in and talked to us about the market and what factors go into the interest rates, and we got a little economics lesson. So it was really fascinating, talking about how it is most likely that prices are going to go up a little bit because buyers are going to come back into the market. So, if you're thinking that you're going to wait until prices go down, you might not be sitting on the right side of that equation.
Right. And so, was there any particular point or economic statistic that he was looking at that pointed in that direction?
Okay, I deserve this 100%. I don't have the notes, and I cannot report it. I cannot report it back.
Recall.
No. I have to process it a little bit more, and I just came from that meeting, so I can't talk off the cuff like that because it's not. But you would know the leading economic indicators on whether we're in a recession, and
and it's a lot of it, from my point of view, is how does it affect interest rates? And the normal market before the meltdown, you could track those economic indicators, and it would track what the economic indicators through the meltdown, when they were using federal funds to stimulate the everything went sideways. And then same thing with COVID, when they put money in to keep the markets going and the economy going.
Good old days.
And so there are times when the economic indicators do function properly, and there are times that they don't, and sometimes they go opposite, and it's completely understandable.
And I promise you that the next time that we're together here, I will have some of that information to report to you.
So, yep.
Will be one of my subjects.
There you go.
How about you? How about your day? Your
very good
day.
Very good. Got a bunch of stuff out this morning for people that are searching for loans, looking to make offers. Went to my investor meeting, and it's starting to pop. Summer was a little bit slower, and there's probably 15 new people in there, and they're asking questions and looking for loans and trying to make offers on properties that are being presented. So my first subject to property down in Port Charlotte there's an offer on that. Posting for it, nobody offered on it. She didn't give enough information, and it's interesting that people will go to a meeting and present something and not have the bedrooms, bathroom square footage. There's like, it's a house in Northport, and subject to. So this is some more research got to be done on that. But got 4 people come with me after the meeting with different properties they need help with. So very good.
Yeah, that's fun. I definitely will have to make it sometime.
Yep.
If I
So
put my notes together.
you know, together. That's so funny. So it's not necessarily realtors making those presentations. You know, it is investors. Some people, you know, are putting their own, you know, the home they're living in up, you know, present, you know, to sell that to move into the next one. So, but it didn't get into the specifics, but it was just interesting to see that kind of meeting for the first time. So, so what do you got? What do you got on the table for us today?
So, you know, I'd like to just kind of do a little update on how the changes with the new National Association of Realtor settlement, what those changes, how it's affected some people's perceptions, what they're doing. It's not 100% solid data, but it was done by some of the Keller Williams coaches asking their agents, and you know, so and then I also, you know, talk about our particular market, what's happening. Every week I'll tell you sold, what's not. And then I also have a really great opportunity this weekend, new listing coming on the market.
Sweet.
So I'm going to share that with you.
Sweet.
How about you?
Looking forward to it. Going to cover how I saved the borrower $300 at the close. $300,000 at the closing table.
Saved a bar.
Borrower.
Oh, borrower.
A borrower. A bar. A drinking
bar.
establishment. No, save the borrower. Save the borrower. No, we'll cover that too, but no. And then we talked a little bit about escrow holdback, how it worked in concept. We'll cover the reality of that, and a little update on sync whole fix and flip that I was talking about last week a little bit. And
that's of interest, of course.
Yep. And the pain of not opting out. And if you don't know what that is, you'll find out. Yep. So jumping into your first topic with the NAR brokerage agreement update, how's that going?
So you know Keller Williams, one of the largest real estate brokerages agencies. We have coaches. There's a lot of coaches, and they've gathered some information, and they felt that 94% of buyers, once they're informed of the changes and they understand the new rules, they're actually good with it. And say, yeah, not a big deal. 97% of buyers are agreeing to pay commissions and signing representation agreements, because there is a big hubbubaloo about that they're not going to, but no, 97% are fine with it. And you know, we can negotiate the fees with the sellers, and they know that, and it's part of it. Sellers' response was that 77% of sellers are still offering commission for a buyer agency at the time of listing, and about 20% prefer to wait to see. So there are some people, and that was, you know, the sellers have had they've had the option to negotiate all along, and they have done that. So 20% are preferring to wait and see, and are taking those. They're doing those seller agency, buyer agency concessions during negotiation. The seller willingness on a scale of 1 to 10, most sellers rate their willingness to offer pay to the buyer's fee as an 8, 9, or 10, whether it's used in marketing or as a negotiation tool. Because truly, it is a good marketing strategy to offer the buyer agent commission.
Right.
Efficiency in communication, they said the majority report that it's taking less than 10 minutes to explain the new commission. So once again, the media has really, talked about it. It's amazing how many people are talking about this and how it's going to revolutionize or change or set the real estate industry back, but not so much. It's really kind of working out to be more paperwork for the agents.
Right. Just add papers.
That's it.
Oh, that's good to know that, that buyers and sellers are both jumping on board with the changes. I guess part of the law was you can't see a house without something signed with somebody, so,
right.
So it's,
Yeah. I mean, it really, it's kind of, lawsuits, that's what happens. When there's a lawsuit, there's always a bunch of papers involved, and that's really all it comes down to.
Well, cool.
Yeah. How about you? Tell me about this bar.
Bar, no bar.
Tell me about the bar.
Borrower,
Mm-hmm.
and I probably did say bar.
No, I think I read. Skimming. I was not reading. I was skimming.
No, I this morning at the investor group, I shared this story, and I got all done, and somebody goes, 100% down payment? Why do we need you? I go, I probably did say that. So what happened was on have $1 million closing that I just did last week. It was 1,142. And they got quotes from two other two other mortgage companies that said over the conventional limit of 766 550, you have to put 25% of that down. And I said, absolutely not. You can go 100%. And these two companies, one of them is the largest veterans association, a mortgage association, and the other one's a bank, out-of-state bank. And they both said no. And I'm like, here's the approval, 100%. And so I ended up saving these clients over $300,000 in down payment that they did not want to put in the house. They're selling a house up north, and they'll come down and pay the mortgage down from there when they sell, but they didn't want to be short that money in transition type space. And so when you hear something that doesn't sit well with you, ask somebody else, because that's really what it came down to. Was they go, yeah, we like you all, but that guy's having us bring $300,000 less to closing.
Right.
It's VA. We can do VA loans with zero down up to $5 million. I have multiple lenders that will do $5 million, 100% financing.
Wow.
And the nice thing about it is VA allows you to buy 1 through 4 units with zero down. And so it's a great loan, and it's one that I recommend, in this market where people are kind of hesitating, to bone up on your VA loans as realtors, both listing and buying side, because, when someone saves $300,000, you don't think they're going to tell some people that, hey, this is the guy,
Well, I think, Brian, we know, and we encourage, if the deal is not going as it works well for you, ask questions, find out, is there any way that we can get it to work? That's one of the things that I really appreciate working with you, is that we try to solve all the problems, even if it's not, problems that,
Yep. That's
and we're just going to try and find a way to get it done the way you need to get it done.
right. Yep. If there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Yep. So, what's going on with Upper Pinellas statistics from the past week?
Yes, I do have that, don't I? I do. Okay, so what I'm doing is every week that we're here, I'm looking at the last 7 days, what changes have happened from Upper Pinellas. I'm saying, like Clearwater up to the border, Pinellas border, and we've had 626 new properties come on the market in the last 7 days. It's not huge amounts, but I believe it was more than last week. I think last week we were saying it was in the 5s. We've had 484 properties go under contract, so those are pending. And then we've had 420 that have closed and sold. The median price for these properties is $390,000. The lowest being $60,000, maybe a condo, maybe mobile home, and the high being $5.5 million. So the median though is $390,000. Yeah, so we've got a great market. It's still, I do think that there's properties out there, and we're still in equilibrium or close to it, and I'd love to help you find the right one for you.
So off the top of my head, those numbers sounded about like 80% of the new listings are basically getting sold within, like that number stays true. So there's a little bit of positive growth in the amount of inventory, but we're still in seller's market, buyer's market.
You know what? I think that we're moving out of the sellers. We're moving towards the buyer's market.
More
Some people
balanced.
would say it's balanced. it just feels like a big change from where it was, a year and a half ago.
Sure.
Mhm.
Very good.
Mhm.
And so, go ahead.
So now, if you could tell me about, you were talking escrow holdback,
Yeah,
right? That's what we're talking
escrow
about.
holdback.
Escrow holdback.
Yeah, so the escrow holdback, we kind of
Touched on that last week.
touched on it last week,
Mhm.
and we were originally going to put the maximum, which is $5,000 per VA guidelines, into escrow holdback, and then they require you to take half of that amount and throw that on top for what ifs. And so what we did find out in the process is that does have to go both through the lender and VA. So it goes back to the VA desk before it closes for them to approve that. And that takes 24 to 48 hours. That's their timeline once it hits their desk. And once we got the receipts back, is an air conditioning receipt, which led to checking the roof because the air conditioning guy says, it's not us. And then the roof goes, it's not us, but there was some water stain damage around the air conditioning vents, so had to get the drywall. So air conditioning guy gave an invoice. Seller paid for it immediately. Said, come back, after closing, pay for, just go through the system, make sure it doesn't, no condensations coming out of it. And if there's a spot where the vents and the drywall come together, that the proper fittings and booting isn't there, put those in. Paid for it immediately. So that left the roofer. There was no signs of leaking, but when they did the roof inspection from the top, the hurricane had come through. So there were some missing shingles, and that. Yeah.
Lifted up, I think you said.
Yep. And so that got an invoice for that. And then the drywall got an invoice for that. So the total repairs that were going to be kind of who pays these was about $1,200. And
so I'm sorry, I'm going to jump in and make, they were quotes for this work to be done, or because the work hadn't been done yet.
Had not been done.
So that you got a quote for them.
Yeah. And so we had put in, kind of thrown in to make sure the wording was right on the escrow holdback addendum, and that the concept of what we we're doing would be, at least looked at and considered. And we got thumbs up on that. But when the actual invoice came back, it was nowhere near that kind of money. And so it literally came down to the seller. Seller wanted to initially go, oh, well, that's not us. You should have caught that on the walk, the inspection. Well, hurricane came through, and final walkthrough. So there's 2 inspections, and we caught it on one of them, which is the roof. And there is, damage to the water, to the wall, to the drywall. So they had already agreed to $7,500, but they wanted to negotiate or fight over $1,200 worth of it. So they finally came to their senses. And
so they agreed to do work up to
the $1,200, the amount of the invoices.
Right. But before that, they had agreed to do up to
7,500. Yeah.
And they knew that they were going to have to pay for those repairs.
Yeah. So they knew what the repairs were. The owners, they had a good idea. The sellers were still out of state and weren't, relying on the walkthrough, of the realtor and a friend of theirs and the inspectors, and not knowing Florida the way we know Florida. Like, does this even make sense? Because that stuff doesn't happen up in the Northeast.
Right.
So, so the seller agreed to pay for those repairs, and then the buyer's like, well, what about, if they pull it open and there's more damage back there? Who's going to cover that?
Yeah. Well,
how much is it going to cost to make this go away? So we just basically ended up doing just a lender credit to give them a little bit of comfort and understanding in, comfort level, and know that we weren't just throwing them to the wolves.
So how long did that delay the closing?
So they signed and everything was ready to fund on time. It did go into the 3rd day because it was a mail away. They go into the 3rd day, and by that morning, everybody said, we're going to either do this or you're going to put it off till everything's repaired, and you're not going to, close it. You're not going to close. You're not going to fund. You're not going to have access to the property over the weekend to clean it. And when your guys show up with the furniture Monday, they're not going to be able to move in.
So approval for the holdback came same day?
No, so it never got to the point where the VA or the underwriter approved it because we didn't have the receipts until the second, signed it on Wednesday, got the third receipt Thursday at like 5 o'clock. So nobody had the receipts to look and see what the damages were. So Friday morning they said, let's get this done, or we're going to just cancel it till all the repairs are done, and you're going to move in 10 days when everything's done. And they went, no, let's just get it done. So gave them a little bit of money, towards the closing, just to make them feel comfortable that if there's a little bit more damage than what they anticipated. So we're talking about $1,142,000 house,
$1,200.
with $1,200 for repairs.
Right. But
so it
right
is
right.
Right is right.
Right is right.
Right is right. And they asked, is like, well, why is the seller doing this? And I said, do you want to close your house, or do you want to fight over why the seller is doing this? They're like, let's just close the house. Like, cool.
As Dr. Phil would say, do you want to be right, or do you want to buy a house? I don't think he's ever said that, but he should.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So that's how it really happened. And those are the kind of time frames. If you're ever looking at an escrow holdback with the VA, it's 24 to 48 hours once it hits their desk.
Wow.
Yep. So you are going to be highlighting
a
new property, huh?
A new listing that we have just went live minutes ago. It's a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3-bath home in Trinity. We're going to get it up here, and I think it's Foxwood on Winslow. I am doing an open house on Saturday from 1 to 3, and I would love it if you'd like to come by. Did we get
I got the wrong thing up. Hold on just a second.
Okay, it's a beautiful house, and we could sit and look at this for a while. So it's got, it's got that beautiful garage.
There's my notes.
And I'm going to pull this up here. Oh, that's pretty too.
There's my notes. Oh, Jiminy. All right.
We can, but you know what? We can go back to the original plan, which was, if you want to see what the inside looks like, you have to come see me on Saturday.
I do not know where that went. So let's try this one more time, and let's go.
Let's see if it's live now. Maybe because it did just go live. So Zillow, and this is one of the things with Zillow, does not update in real time. So,
and I don't know where we found that. Yeah, and I had it prepared to go up, and now I can't find it. Okay. It looks like it was right there. Boom, boom, and it's not on.
Okay. Well, it is a beautiful 5-bedroom, 3-bath house. It is listed at $525.
There's pictures.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Then this is what happens when we're just like really cutting edge, because it's just coming up. And okay, just kind of scroll through there, give them a little idea of what we got.
Yep, there we go.
We are.
Yeah, I don't know why that's not opening. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go.
Now my face is all red because I didn't get that right.
Back there, you got that nice little pond. Open to, you got that little pond back there, and open to. It's got great tile floors. It's definitely. I mean, there's some. You could do some updating, definitely, but it's really a great property at only $525 for just under 2,300 square feet. Got this great room that goes out to the outside. You've got an open kitchen there. You've got a big open kitchen. Nice white raised panel cabinetry and stainless steel. But look at that. It's got a little hot tub out there. I think that is out there. And a little lanai with an outdoor kitchen. Beautiful paved patio that looks out on that pond. And I will be there on Saturday from 1 to 3.
And this is 1838 Winslow Drive, Newport Richey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's up in Trinity.
Right.
There you go.
So HOA with this?
Okay.
There
is an HOA. It is not, I don't have the number for the HOA, what the amount is, but I believe it's Fox Hollow, I think is the community. So you've got a park, you've got a lot of community amenities. It is a gated community.
Very nice.
There you go. So come on by. I do. This is priced. 2,300 square feet for $525. Definitely want to come by and see it before the Boxwood, not Box Hollow, Boxwood. Mm-hmm. That is a nice community up there too.
Yeah, it sure is.
Mm-hmm.
Sure is.
So yes, come out and see us.
So we are stopping Sharon.
Poor Brian has to do the controls, put up with my nonsense, and talk all at the same time.
That's so funny.
But you know what I really want to hear about too is this sinkhole fix and flip that you had talked about. Tell me about it.
So working with a buyer to secure this property, and they're still in negotiations on it, trying to figure things out because of the complexities of a sinkhole property with insurance, with value, that kind of stuff, with lenders that actually want to lend on it. So we did find, they originally gave me the engineer's report,
Right.
but it didn't have the repairs and that kind of stuff on it. So we were able to chase those down and find that and submit those to lenders and say, yep, based on this, do you comfortable? I found a couple of lenders that said yes. And
again, can I ask how long ago was the sinkhole remediated?
Off the top of my head, it was like 2001.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's been there a while.
So it should not be a problem getting insurance, I would think, right?
So you still have to have the report. They still have to review the report and have underwriters go through it. It's not, generally speaking, it's not something that a broker just goes, yeah, I can do that. Here's your quote.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
So there is some work in it. And then there is some, a little bit higher cost to getting that secured because you just don't know. You just don't know. So I went to church with some people that had their house fixed like 3 times,
right.
So yeah.
So I have questions.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. About appraisals on sinkhole. Do you know what kind of value they deduct for a remediated sinkhole?
Yeah.
Offhand, you don't have to.
I don't know about the deduction. I know the values can come in anywhere from 10 to 25% lower than properties that aren't in sinkhole, that aren't,
right.
remediated sinkholes or been designated sinkhole homes. A sinkhole home that has not been fixed, that could go 15 to 35 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah. So we're like, you're doing like a fix and flip, a house that just it's dated, needs to be, those are 60 to 70%, of the after repair value. So if you take a single home versus like a home that needs to be fully rehabbed, you can sometimes get those considerably lower. But yeah, the issue, because it has to be disclosed, excuse me, it has to be disclosed. So you have people, selling it's a little bit tougher. And then when you sell it, it can come in lower than you anticipated.
Right.
And so a lot of people will pick those up and keep them as rentals.
That definitely is an opportunity for a rental if it's remediated and it's sound. The value is definitely affected. The further out you go from the remediation, the less the effect is, obviously. So, yeah, that is good. That is good.
Yep.
All right, so that's on our list now. Now we're looking for
sinkhole. Add those to the list: fire, water damage, mold, sinkhole. Those are all opportunities in Florida. So if you're into fix and flips and buying properties at a discount, those are some things that you can definitely do.
So I heard a quote at our team meeting today, and it was a good one. And I'm probably going to butcher it here, but it was talking about the things that, there's a lot of things in our jobs and in life that we try to stay away from. We try to avoid, obviously, humans, we avoid pain and discomfort, but the magic is hidden in the tasks you have been avoiding. So
magic is hidden in the voices,
in the
tasks you've been avoiding, the voices in my head. The magic. So
that's, it's kind of like the, success is right outside your comfort zone.
Right. I've always kind of heard it in our industry is the money is in the pieces and parts that other people don't want to do.
That too.
That too. And so the hard part of the mortgage industry is, the getting on the phone and getting people to commit to, trusting you enough to give you all of their information. That's the hardest part in it. And I actually love that part of it. It's for me, because that's where you have to structure the deal so it'll close, is asking the right questions and that kind of stuff. But there are people that just hate that. They just like, just call me when I can show up and, cash a check. Well, there's a lot of hard work in between there.
No, I enjoy that. I enjoy that too. I enjoy the challenges and the trying to problem solve for sure.
Yep.
Sure. Anyway, so
good quote. I like that one. I like that one. I don't know if I said this one last time or not, but we've all heard the quote. No one on their deathbed ever said, I wish I'd spend more time on my business or at work. So with that transition, what do you got going on this weekend?
Oh no, not good. I'm working. I have the open house this weekend, and I have a couple of property tours with some clients. We're going out on the weekend, and I get some time off during the week. So I'm going to do that on Saturday. Sunday is, I'm looking forward to a quiet Sunday, church, and just maybe some housework.
Cool.
Okay. Actually, I have a project I have to do that I've been putting off. And once I do that, I have a table I'm going to finish. So I have a good project to do after the.
So you got the one that you don't want to do. Mm-hmm. You have a reward afterwards to incentivize you to finish the project you don't want to do.
Right. I can tell you there's absolutely no magic in the task that task that I have to avoid.
That's funny. Well, that's awesome. I mean, that's a great way to get through something, is to put something on the other side of it that you actually want to do.
Right.
So that's cool.
How about you? What do you got?
Got football.
Oh, here we go again with football.
Got Gators.
Wait a minute. Hey, didn't you have your reunion last weekend?
We did have my reunion last weekend. It was funny. It was quite funny. So 40-year reunion, and at some point, somebody leaned over to me and goes, "Who invited all these old people?" I said, "You're not talking about me, are you?"
So funny.
Yeah. But it's it went really well, and it was interesting because I went the first night by myself. Lori was in Texas helping Grayson with the babies while his wife was out of town. And so I started at 9:30. Somebody goes, "You better slow down. You're pounding those like they're water." And I go, "That's because it is water." And they were pounding something else and they were acting silly. So it was pretty funny. And then the second night, I took Zach with me, my 22-year-old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it was so funny. So he got some stories that, from when I was a knucklehead.
Scoundrel.
Yeah. You don't go through life as a savage without having some bumps and bruises and some stories to tell. Right.
Not on the air.
You don't
recorded.
You don't become a successful Marine without, with the name Savage, without going through some stuff. So,
that's great.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun to catch up with people and see people that I hadn't seen. There's people that showed up that had never come to 10, 20, 30 or anything in between. Wow. So it was kind of interesting. Yep. Lots of fun.
Yes.
Yep. And then, Gators play the Miami Hurricanes this weekend. So that's an in-state, rivalry, and one that is going to be played in Gainesville. And the guys coming in are favored to win by 0.3 of a point.
Okay, then.
So I don't know how you score 0.3 of a point in a football game, but that's what they're favored by. So they're calling it the upset watch of the week, you know, because it's such a close game. But I know that's not an interest of yours, but
Well, no, but
it's a love of mine.
I'm the minority here in town.
No, I don't know about that.
That's okay.
But yeah. So but yeah, I've got basically that going on.
But we
And
have something big happening next week, don't we?
well, we've got something starting on Sunday night.
Oh, I guess I'm not resting.
Sunday night, 6:00. All you gotta do is go show up.
Okay.
Show up for 6:00. So the social media challenge, the So Simple It's Savage social media challenge starts Sunday night, 6:00. We did fill all of our allotted spots, but we could squeeze some people in. It's on the internet.
Nice.
So we could squeeze some people in.
Can we post the registration QR code in our comments on this?
We can definitely do the link.
Oh, the link.
Definitely do the link, and we're still taking some signups for that.
Perfect.
And but right now it's the size that I wanted to start with, so that it's kind of intimate. But yeah, we do have room for others that go, oh, I forgot to do that, or oh, I've always wanted to do that, or oh, I really want to find out how he does that. We got room for that. We got room for those people.
Sounds great.
Yep. And then next Tuesday, the Tuesday following, what is that? The third, second,
It is
third,
the
third.
It is the third.
We'll have the investor group
Right.
at
Urban
Grounds, and one of the people at my reunion owns Johnny's right up the street.
Johnny's Tap House.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I went to middle school and high school with her, and she said,
She's
I don't
up,
know
and
if you
they
noticed.
have Carmelitas also, don't they? I think so, which hasn't opened yet.
Hasn't opened yet. So she said, hey, when you outgrow Urban Grounds, come on up. We'll host you there. So that was kind of cool. She said, we got tables that sit like 25 people there. Like, oh, we're not
They serve beer instead of coffee.
We're not there yet. We're not at 25 people there yet. But yeah. So
and you know what's happening soon too? I think Cohatch, the co-working space, is opening soon downtown Tarpon. Lots of fun.
Yeah. So
there you go.
And that's about it. Got anything else?
That's it. Everybody have a safe holiday weekend.
Right. Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
Happy
We'll see you
Labor Day.
next week.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.